So for this week, I'm looking at a few different stocks that I'm going to go ahead and take for April 16th and all of April's earnings. Netflix is one, Bank of America, J.P. Morgan Chase, Citibank. If you guys want to know a good website, we can go ahead and look for earnings reports and look up information about some companies. We can go ahead and use. Whoops, let me go ahead and actually read that. We can go ahead and use Earnings Whispers. This website is very powerful. Now, the reason why I'm not going to take Citibank is because I really don't like Citibank stock. If we go ahead and take a look at Citibank, let's go ahead and hit C. Here's Citibank. Now look at it from a monthly perspective. Ever since, now there was something that went on when the housing market collapsed that they got caught in. You can see right here, 2007, 2008. This stock dropped about, let's start from here. This stock dropped over 100%, about 96%. I don't like it right now. Ever since 28, it hasn't really done much. It's been ranging from $25 per share to $70 per share. Now, this could be a recovery for Citibank stock. Right now, I'm not really too sure. I have no idea if I want to go ahead and take this long term. I don't know too much about Citigroup, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay out of it. I mean, looking at Citigroup, let's go ahead and click. I mean, they're saying that it's going to beat, and we're C stock going up. Now, just based off of that entire chart right there on the monthly, it hasn't recovered too much, but I mean, short-term price, investor sentiment, earnings estimate, long-term price says down, so that's not really appealing to me. It also tells you Earnings Whisper some of the pivot points and support levels right here. So 70.23, 71.15, 72, 74 is going to be a reversal zone. Support is going to be 67.72, 66.13, 65.21. Also, it tells you its growth right here. EQE, EQR, EAE. I mean, typically more green than red is always good. So that's Citigroup. I really don't care for that one. J.P. Morgan Chase. I like financial stocks this year. So let's go ahead and go check it out. JPM, J.P. Morgan Chase. I mean, I'm expecting everything to beat anyways, so. Also, it tells you its pivot points and support levels too, right here. But let's go ahead and let's take a look at JPM now. Should we get into JP Morgan Chase before its earnings, or should we not? Should we stay out? Let's go ahead and figure out when its earnings date is. So its earnings is April 13th, so that's going to be in about next week, I believe. Someone chatted already. Oops. What do you recommend doing with withdrawing your money to be taxed at the least? I'm confused what you mean by that. Okay. Reiterate that for me. So, JP Morgan Chase. Let's go to JPM. If we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a trade on JPM. Whoops. If we're going to take a trade on JPM, I mean, we've been looking at this trade for a while. I've been calling buys down here. Now, I would like to see price come back down to this level before I go ahead and do anything. If I go ahead and place a buy up here, one of my biggest rules I tell my members is never buy at a high. So I would like to see a pullback down to one of these levels before I go ahead and look for anything. The last thing I want to do is place a buy and sit in a drawdown when I know that I can go ahead and get a better entry down here. If price comes back down to this level, I will go ahead and look for a buy position. And with that buy position, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place a buy and hold it into April 13th's earnings. And let's see what happens there. I'm going to have a tight stop as well where this teal line could be. I could have it about at this level if I wanted to. That's JPM. I would wait for a pullback at least. Netflix. So we have Netflix 416. My members, we are on this one right now. Netflix is a trade. I have members already in profit right now sitting on this. I mean, we have a nice bullish hammer right here falling on one of these support levels. So just based off of seeing that, we caught this bottom right here. We saw this wick. We saw this candle full. Once it wicked back, we said we're going to go ahead and we're going to look for a trade on this. So we got an entry this morning. We caught this entire move from 271 to about 290. Now, not everybody caught it right here. Some people caught it in the middle. Some people caught it a little later. Now, let's go and throw ICHIMOKU on. ICHIMOKU, we couldn't. If you guys are looking to enter a trade, you guys are kind of too late right now. You have to wait for price to pull back somewhere in here and then catch it a little lower. If you guys do that, then you guys will be able to go ahead and find a trade come Netflix. If you guys are able to find a really good entry on this trade, you guys want to hold this into April 16th earnings. Another one is Bank of America. Bank of America is actually one of my favorite plays right now. It's very conservative, so I have my smaller account guys on this right now. Bank of America is a good stock. Now, we have our earnings for Bank of America April 16th, so same thing as Netflix. If you guys are looking for an entry on this one, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to wait for price to pull back down to one of these levels down here. If you guys can do that, then you'll be able to go ahead and place a trade on Bank of America. Now, I kind of want to limit it down to which one plays the best. Of course, if you have a smaller account, you probably only want to place one of these. I wouldn't recommend you trading Netflix because Netflix does move pretty fast. So I would probably stick to Bank of America if you got a really small account. But other than that, if you guys get an entry on a pullback, you never want to buy a high. You want to buy the low. So I just visualized where we can go ahead and place entries for you guys who are not members in here. I would do that and hold it into earnings. If you're in profit come earnings, if you're in profit in earnings, move your stop loss at break even. And because if it goes the other way and let's say it misses, then it can put you in a deeper loss to hit your original stop loss. So that's going to be all of our earnings plays this week, guys, for this month.